All right, so time for another check-in. It's now like I think pretty much exactly a week since the last check-in. And last time I was like, this was my state of my art, so to speak. Um, and I would say I'm improved significantly. Like this is especially it's really small, and I created some bigger stuff. Like at first I tried this one, which is just like no colors, only like solid colors for like to differentiate all the parts of the body. So this was also the first time I used these layers, which are extremely useful. I'm currently like getting the hang of like how all of it works. And I also like started putting these into like all animations into one file, which you can use these loops, and it's pretty nice because in Unity, like natively, you can just import the sprite asset, and it already creates these animations on here, and also like an animation controller, or here controller. Yeah, that's really useful, and you can also set like pivot points and animation events and stuff like by I think I put it on here like by using this user data, which is really useful. So yeah, I tried this humanoid like person kind of just, and some stuff is really good. I think it looks smooth. It looks almost like logical. Um, what kind of doesn't make sense is that like he doesn't step onto the floor like here, but more like here, which makes it more look like he's stepping on the same position. Even if I would probably put it into a game and make it move, it would still like not look right. This is something like I improved since then, I'd say. Um, but yeah, I kind of just like use this basic solid colors to like get the hang of like basic animation. Next thing I did is this one where like I don't really have to animate it. Like animate the walking aspect because it's like flying, and it's also like it's a bit abstract. It's not really clear what it is like, but yeah, this one is like I try to have this like as sort of like a jet, and it's actually pretty difficult to animate this in a way that looks smooth, but I would say it's okay. And then it's pretty easy to make it move to the side by just having the jet like go to the side. Like I just deleted some stuff here and put it there, and just moved the face a little bit, which is pretty cool. And I wanted to have an animation where it just like I mean, it doesn't shoot or anything. I thought of it as just something rather that buffs other things. So I made this kind of animation, and I think it looks pretty smooth. Like it also, I imagine this as something like there will be added something on top of it, which goes down to the floor, kind of, and signifies which enemies are buffed by this. Yeah. I'm actually surprised that this kind of glow effect and that it like evaporates to the sides, that I made it look kind of okay. Yeah, but and this is the first time I really like what I focused was like getting the shading right, not on this one, but on like all the future ones as well, because I found out this is what really makes this stuff shine, and it's not perfect. Like, and again, I see my improvement because on this one, like I had this highlight here in a round kind of fashion, but I wanted to it actually to look more like a cylinder. And like in the past days I've learned, okay, if it's a cylinder, then it doesn't make sense that this is round. It should be more like a line because they all have the same angle. um, yeah, but also like I would say this doesn't really fit the other ones that I created for some reason. Even though I used the same palette, it's kind of a bit different. And also like I started deviating from my palette a bit and just using some colors myself. I was really afraid of this, but as long as you keep your palette limited, it's actually okay. As long as you don't use too many shades and stuff, you don't really have to use a pre-made palette, but it can be great. Like I used this still as I think on here I already changed it, but this one I think if I sorted by hue. Like this one was the actual palette I used, and I use it as an orientation kind of, and then deviate from it a bit. Yeah, and the next one I made, was it? I'm not sure if this, I think I made this one first, which is like, yeah, it's just like this creature which looks a bit like a dog, but it has this whip on the back. And this is like, I think I'm finding kind of slowly finding like a sweet spot when it comes to like how much something can be abstract and how much something should kind of make sense, and kind of like, you know, this is like you can see what it is, but it's not sure like what the texture is or what it exactly, what kind of animal or whatever it is. It's just like something I came up with, but it's not clearly defined what this body exactly is, so to speak. Yeah, and I kind of made this whip animation. It only plays a single time because like I put it to be that way. Yeah, and this is the first time I really managed to have this, I don't know, the smear frame look good. I think I actually have to add another frame between those two, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I think this looks pretty fine. The way the body moves to it is a bit weird, but the attack, I would say, looks smooth. Put this back to one-shot mode, and then I thought, okay, this one doesn't, this was just my idea to make it unique as an enemy in the game, not only have this whip attack but also have a jump. Like it doesn't walk, it can only jump, like so it jumps from here to here and then it idles for a bit and then from here to here, for example. And this is the jump animation. This one doesn't really look good, I would say. It's pretty basic. It's good that the whip like goes back. It makes it feel a bit more smooth. But yeah, also like on this one, I think I got pretty good with the shading. Like for a beginner, pretty good. Like I got a grasp of like how do I have to shade for the body, for example, these legs to look kind of round. It's not perfect, but they at least don't look flat, and the head as well. And the whip, it looks kind of flat, but I realized that and I thought that it looks kind of good. It wasn't my intention, but then when I did it, I thought, okay, let's go with it. And yeah, so we have this kind of enemy, and then this was the next one I made because I wanted to have like a player character, and I think it looks cool. It looks kind of unique, I would say. Not extremely unique, but again, considering that I'm a beginner, I would say that looks pretty good. And my idea was this is like where the bullets come from, because I had this idea of the legs being really up high and then this only covering like what his body actually looks like. But then I realized that I can't have him hold like a gun or something, because adding arms to this makes the whole body fall apart kind of, because it's like mysterious and doesn't really make sense where his torso really is. And this way it's fine, but adding arms is really difficult. And it also kind of, if he holds a gun in the front, it would break the symmetry. If he holds it onto his body closely, I would say that's something that I can't really make look good. So I thought, okay, why not just have the bullets come from just some hole without really any explanation? Yeah. So and then I added these like strings, have his cape sort of be a bit destroyed, and I wanted to add like an animation to it, a wind animation, and that's like, it's not the worst, but it's also not really good. That's where I realized that this kind of stuff is really difficult. This kind of smooth movement is, yeah, way more difficult than what I can achieve right now. And also like getting the shading right is really difficult. So yeah, I think I maybe have a look into it later again. And then I also tried animating it working, and I think it works. It works. Like he's jumping pretty far up, and I really try to think about like how would the legs behave. Yeah, and I made one leg have a different color to differentiate them, and I don't know whether I'm gonna keep it. That's why I also haven't yet added it to the idle animation. Yeah, but if both are black, it looks, or both are the same color, it's kind of difficult to grasp what's going on in the animation. Yeah, but I think it looks solid. So what I then did, oh, and like I created the bullet, which is like really basic, with like different sizes. Looks kind of Binding of Isaac-esque, but maybe I'll look into making it more unique in the future. But for now it's fine. And so I put them all into Unity and added some code to make them like have like to put them a rough sketch of what I want the game to look like a really really rough sketch. And like yeah, I have movement. I changed the speed of the player. Gotta change that again real quick because it feels really really slow. But yeah, I would say I'm pretty happy with like the current state. It's more than I would have expected to achieve like in this week. So yeah, the dog thing like kind of just jumps to you and then attacks, while this thing like it should also move, but right now I only coded it to shoot. And both have like a pre-aim algorithm in it, which just basically looks where's the player walking, and then kind of adds the velocity to the position, like where he thinks the player is. And with the dog, it sometimes overshoots like a lot. But with this shooter, it's really diabolical. Like it almost like when you come too close, it's really difficult sometimes to dodge the bullets. But sometimes like it depends, of course, like if you when you change direction and when he shoots. Yeah, it doesn't really have a lot of logic yet of like how it damages the player and stuff. But I just wanted to show it. I think this is something really important when learning how to make art, how to animate, like to put everything together into the format where it will ultimately be, so you can see whether it actually works in that form or not. Yeah, what's a problem right now is that this little boy has an outline and the other ones don't. Like I realized that I prefer the art style with no outline, but this one doesn't look good without an outline. Like, or I haven't yet achieved it to looking good without an outline, and it kind of breaks the art style. But yeah, we'll see. But for now, I would say I'm pretty happy with this. As someone who never did like visual art really, and always was kind of a bit afraid, because I think like every time I tried, I just sucked at it, you know. This time it was because of that, it was a really daunting task for me to do. But considering that, like I'm really happy with like what I was able to achieve, and I don't know, like a week and a half or so of doing pixel art, and it's just like a week and a half of maybe doing it for a couple of hours a day, maybe even less on average. So yeah, I'll be like I'm stoked to see where this will go, like how it will look when I add more stuff. Of course, like a big priority is this needs a background. Because then like we have everything kind of filled out, and this is will be then be kind of close to how some parts of the final game will look like. Yeah, I think that will be my next priority.